Good afternoon, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Chatterbox. Hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's doing fine. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon, wherever you are in the world, guys. Absolutely appreciate everyone who's here. Of course, before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash a like on the video if you guys can do that now, guys. There's been a lot of noise in regards to Manchester United. Of course, that's why we're here. Manchester United, Carlos Baleba is subject of a record fee from Brighton. Well, Brighton are asking for a ridiculous amount of money. We're looking at 130 million euros, guys. 130 million. That is 112 English sterling of your great pounds, guys. That is what they are asking for at the moment. Now, that is astronomical. It's ridiculous. But, guys, I would like to stress, I would like to point out that this is just the starting bid, the starting fee. This is just the beginning. This will be negotiated down, further down the pecking order until Man United get to around 75 with incentives. There's no way that this fee is going to be paid. I don't think Man United will pay that astronomical amount of money. As much as we love Baleba and we want Baleba to sign for Man United will not pay that money. The money will be reduced. It will be negotiated and we will get a lower fee than that. Now, guys, how much is Baleba worth at the end of the day? Not that much, but he's worth quite a lot. And as I said before, I've said many times on this channel, the easiest part is agreeing personal terms with Baleba. The hardest part is basically accepting a deal with Brighton Hove Albion. They're going to dig their heels in the ground. Of course they are. This is what they do. This is what Premier League teams do. And it's exactly what I was saying earlier on Breaking Dawn, that these teams do not need to sell. They don't need to sell. And some of them don't want to sell. So they're going to make it as hard as possible, especially for the likes of Manchester United, who we're not very hated, adored, never ignored, of course. So they're going to put the price tag way higher. This is going to be a lot different to the RB Leipzig deal. Of course, the Sesko deal went through relatively unscathed, very easily. Lovely jubbly. You know, at the end of the day, when we're looking at Premier League clubs like Brentford, it is very difficult, notoriously very difficult to do deals with these teams, especially Manchester United. If we were Liverpool, however, they would probably, you know what, blow smoke up their backside a little bit and give them a little bit of a lower price. But Man United and Man United at the end of the day, isn't it? And they want to put the highest price quite possibly. We're not that team anymore, guys. We're not that team who's going to bow down to whatever the demands of these teams are. We're not going to bow down to that. Of course we're not. And Man United will be much more shrewd and much more clever in this transfer market, of course, guys, which is very, very important, of course, because we cannot be spending that amount of money. Although Mr. Baleba is worth a lot of money, and I think he is an astronomical player, a brilliant player. I just don't think that Manchester United are going to be spending 100+ million on him. That is exaggerated. That's an exaggerated price. And of course, the fact that Baleba wants to leave Brighton and go to Manchester United, already agreed to go to Manchester United, this puts the power in Manchester United's corner. Manchester United can go to Brighton and say, look, this is how much we're going to pay for you. We're not going to pay this much more. He wants to come to Man United, and that's it. And the grand scheme of things, when you're thinking about players, when you're thinking about, you know, signings and transfers, when a player wants to leave, it doesn't make sense to keep the player. It's impractical. It doesn't make business sense to keep the player, as I was saying earlier. Now, that price there that Brighton has slapped on Baleba's head, obviously is very, very exaggerated. It's a very exaggerated price. It will be negotiated down. We will negotiate it down, but it will be most likely the most expensive player in Manchester United's history. I think the other one will probably Pogba, wasn't it, at the end of the day? But it will be the most expensive player in Manchester United's history, and 100% could be the most expensive African player in history, guys, which is, you know what, incredible, because there's been some fantastic African players, especially in my time. There were some fantastic African players around the world, of course. So Baleba could be the most expensive African player of all time. And you know what? Might even be Man United's most expensive player of all time. It does remain to be seen, of course. Man United might reduce the price. We're looking at about 70, 75. We're way off at the moment, of course. We're way off the mark that we want to be, of course, guys. It's got to be way lower than that, absolutely. And if we do sign Baleba for 100 million plus, you can count the goalkeeper out. We won't be getting a goalkeeper. That is pretty sure, guys. Big up everyone in the stream. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to Stretford Post. Hope everyone is good, guys. Hope everyone is good. Hope everyone is blessed, of course. Good to see you in the house. Big up Jamie. Long time no see. How you doing, James? Jamie, hope you're doing well. I believe this because we wouldn't even bother discussing the terms and everything. We would have walked away. No chance. We're going to have to negotiate. Nobody's expecting us to bid massive, but this is why we will. Man United will negotiate. And Man United will make their first bid. Of course, once with the Brighton have slapped their price on the table and Baleba has agreed personal terms with Man United will prepare for a bid. And that is where we go from there. It's like, we give you this. Brighton are going to say, no, we want this. We're going to say, we'll give you this, etc., etc. Of course, big up Chatterbox. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. It's too much, to be honest. We shouldn't be allowed Brighton to do us whatever they want. There are at least two or cheaper options. We shouldn't pay as much money for a 21-year-old. Look, you know what? I edge towards agreeing with Chatterbox here. I agree. We shouldn't be paying that much money for a 21-year-old because at the end of the day, he's had one good season in the Premier League, and we have to understand that as well. As much as we love him, as much as he's a great player, there are other players out there. I was talking about Adam Wharton earlier on, who's a fantastic player who we could probably get for cheaper. Look, you know what? This is the starting range anyway. This is going to be negotiated down. The price will be reduced significantly once we start negotiating with everyone, of course. Now, obviously, in the realms of Manchester United, we do get a little bit of exaggeration from the media as well. Media do like to exaggerate Manchester United's prices. They do. This is what they do. They've been doing it for years, haven't they? You put in euros instead of pounds, dollars instead of pounds, when it suits the narrative. Like, oh, look at Man United spending so much money. Look at them and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, no, you know what? Not us, guys. Not us. That is not what we do, guys. We don't do that. And we don't do that on this channel. We give the honest opinions, of course. But if it is indeed 100 odd million, I say it's too much. Tyberg, I agree with that. It is too much. I think the most I would pay in regards to Baleba is around 80 million euros, guys. That is how much I'll pay for him. That is his value. We're trying to say that a proven player, i.e. Mbumo and Sesko, are worth literally nearly half of what Baleba's worth. And that just doesn't make sense at the end of the day, does it? As much as we want Baleba, you know, we cannot be, you know, taking the mick out of, taking the piss out of, basically. That's what it is. And that can't happen anymore. It won't happen, I don't think. I do think that it will be negotiated down. I do think the price will come down significantly. And once we start negotiations with Brighton and Hove Albion, hopefully we can come to some sort of middle ground, some sort of a resolution to this saga. Of course, another saga in the world of Manchester United. The fact that Baleba wants to leave Brighton. He's already said he wants to leave Brighton. Rumours about a transfer request as well. This is proper, guys. He wants to leave the football club, and generally the player gets what he wants. But in this situation, it's completely different. Looking at the price tag, of course, absolutely. Jamie, there is no better than him in the Premier League. He's Premier League proven. Yeah, I like Wharton. I think he's a very good player, underrated. Good morning, Sal. We have to risk to get reward. We have to pay the money. There you go, Ephraim. Well, there you go. Absolutely. Now, look, guys, I would say this. However, I would say this in regards to Manchester United. If Man United managed to offload a couple of players, then it's not in the realms of impossibility that Man United could pay an astronomical fee for Baleba. Of course, there's Garnacho, Anthony and Sancho, and Rasmus, who may be leaving the football club. So, you know, we might get some money in, which might be in turn go into the Baleba transfer. We'll have to wait and see. But one thing I can guarantee, guys, I can guarantee this, right? Manchester United probably won't sign a goalkeeper if we get a Baleba. With that price, you know, I don't think that is going to happen, of course, guys. Absolutely. Rudy Galletti, yeah, Man United, obviously, and water is wet. Of course, Man United will hold talks. This is crazy. We're going to spend over 300 million this month. Absolutely. And who was the one who's saying we're broke? Who told me they're broke? Well, didn't I tell you guys? Guys, how many times did I say we're not broke? We're not broke. We're not broke. We're not broke. We're not broke. And everyone was telling me we're broke. And here we are. We're not broke. We never have been broke. Absolutely lied, and they know it. Absolutely, there you go. We're United. We said it a long time ago. We were 100%, but we will have to tread carefully as Brighton might want to bid in war. Of course they do. And there is Man City and there is Liverpool interested in Baleba, and we have to take that very seriously. You snooze, you lose. We have to try and get this deal over the line. We have to try and get this deal over the line before anyone else tries to come in for an offer, because you know what? We don't want any heads turns. Now, my theory on this is what Barada said after the Hong Kong game not long ago. He said that Manchester United have been working on certain things for the last few months. Now, have Manchester United been working on the Baleba transfer? Have they been working on him over this last few months? It does remain, it does make you think, doesn't it? Maybe they have been in touch with Baleba over this last few months. Maybe that is true. Maybe this is why we're so confident in regards to the transfers that we're getting. Maybe we have agreed to go to agreed terms with these players and are confident that we can get them and just need to work out a deal with the club. But obviously, working out a deal with the club is no mean feat. It's probably the most hardest thing to do out of everything, of course, is working out a deal with the club as well. Of course. Big up, Will. Hope you're doing well. But one thing I was saying in regards to back up Will in this situation, we're not broke. They manipulated the fan base. They sacked a lot of people to act like we're broke, to give you the illusion that we're broke in case everything goes kerfuffle over this transfer window, of course, guys. So, look, we've never been broke. I told you not broke. They have money, and here we are. Lo and behold, we're bidding for players like Baleba for 100 million, and we're looking to spend about 100 million this summer, which is absolutely crazy. This is a ridiculous price if true. It's just the starting price, guys. Absolutely, 112 million pounds is a lot of money still. You know what I mean? We all know Baleba faked an injury to discuss, so we the links are legit. Absolutely, the links are legit, guys. And as I've been talking about this last week, I'm not wasting my time, guys. I have been talking about it the whole week, and I've been getting the news first before these guys. I said we agreed personal terms way before the media started saying that we agreed personal terms. And then you know what? I don't want the credit, but at the end of the day, that is what it is. And Man United will go in for negotiation. The tactic that Man United are using at the moment is basically get an agreement with the player, entice the player, get the player on side that he doesn't want to go to anyone else, and then approach the club. And then the club are at a weakness. The club he plays for are at a weakness. And then obviously they don't want an unhappy player if he wants to leave. Of course, absolutely. Alexander Park, good to see you. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. We will get him this week. Let's hope so, guys. Let's hope so. Of course, this week. Hope so. Let's see. Bobby, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How you doing, my friend? Hope we're doing well. Good to see you. Good afternoon. Sanjay, hope you're doing well. Good to see you as well. Brian, good to see you, mate. How you doing, fella? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, everyone in the chat, of course. Sal, great show. United ain't messing about. Steve, absolutely. Thank you so much, mate. Yeah, United are not messing about this summer. And this is exactly how we needed to be acting after what happened last summer. Of course, guys, coming 15th, losing the Europa League final to Tottenham is incredibly embarrassing. It was probably the most embarrassing defeat as I've had as a Man United fan for almost 40 years. It was embarrassing. And we had to fix this. And we had to make it better. Now we need to look forward. And one of the great things that I heard over this last week was Benjamin Sesko. What Benjamin Sesko said this week. When he signed for Man United, he said, I signed for Man United. Man United have got a beautiful history, a historical history, but I'm not here to talk about the past. I'm here to talk about the future. And this is exactly what we need to think about. We need to think about the future, what we're doing next season to put right of the wrongs from last season. That's what we need to do. And look, if we get Baleba, obviously is an if, of course, if we get Baleba, and I still think we need a goalkeeper there. I don't think we're going to get a goalkeeper. We'll get Baleba. This will be a structured deal as it is. Of course, it's going to be a structured deal. Man United won't pay up full amount. Of course, they won't. They might pay 50 and then obviously pay the rest in installments, something around that mark, of course. But it does also depend on obviously Garnacho, Rasmus, Sancho, Anthony leaving the football club. Not all of them, but maybe one or two have to leave the football club for us to fund this deal, of course, guys. And you know what? If we manage to get this deal over the line, then applauds need to be applauded. 85 to 95, I think. Probably about euros, I would say. Yeah, I think that's what Man United will be looking at, to be honest with you, about that price. Yeah, 100 plus is very difficult, but this is an investment, as we say. Sometimes you just have to invest. You have to invest. You have to take risks in life. You have to take risks, and this is exactly the type of player that Man United need. This is the glue of the team. This is Baleba, right? He's the one who's going to connect the defense with the midfield with the attack. That is him. He's that guy. Of course, I'm still a little bit concerned about, obviously, Bruno playing in that number 8 position. I don't think he's a number 8. I think he's a poor number 8, but he's a world-class number 10. I think he's a poor number 8. Obviously, we have to think about that as well, but hopefully it all works out and it sort of gels together and just, just finds a way. And finds a way, absolutely. Big up, Alex. How you doing, my friend? I'll be doing well. If Brighton does not want to sell and thinks he would be worth a lot more next year, are not accounting on a possible injury, they could be flushing that money down the drain. Exactly, Alex. What I would say about this is a double-edged sword for Brighton at the end of the day. They can accept the money and lose Baleba, or they can wait until next year, and he might have an injury next year. He might not be good next year. As we know with Ferguson who played for Brighton, they were comparing him to the new Wayne Rooney. They were saying he was the new Wayne Rooney, and what happened? You know what I mean? On loan. And this is exactly what it is. It's a double-edged sword for Brighton. You either accept the money and let him go now, or we wait until the end of the season, and then you know what? You never know what's going to happen. His price is not going to increase from that. It's not going to increase from that. That is the limit of a Baleba. That is how much he is worth. This is the peak of what Baleba is going to be worth, guys, unless he goes for 150 million. But when we're looking at Liverpool, guys, and I don't like to look at Liverpool too much, they did spend astronomical monies on Florian Wirtz, yeah? And that is a risk. And sometimes you have to take these risks in football. If you want to progress, you have to take these risks in football. And they took the risk on Florian Wirtz. We might as well just take the risk on Baleba, I would say that, and just get this deal done quickly. More importantly, get this deal done quickly. We could quite possibly get him before the deadline day on September the 1st. We've got 2 weeks until the deadline day, of course. So hopefully we can get that deal over the line. In regards to the goalkeeper, if we do sign Baleba, I think it does reduce the price significantly of bringing in a goalkeeper because the price will be so high. Although, if Manchester United could work out a deal with Brighton in regards to an installment plan that works in their favour, then, you know what, maybe we might be able to squeeze a Senny Lamens in there or something like that. But it does also depend on who leaves. Onana needs to leave if we sign a Donnarumma. Anthony needs to leave. Sancho needs to leave as well. Garnacho needs to leave. And those players need to leave before we can start thinking about this in a serious light, of course. But it does look likely Garnacho will leave the football club. It does look likely. He doesn't look like a man who's going to be staying up for this football club. Absolutely not. I've seen the pictures. He looks really down in the dumps, doesn't he? He looks really down in the dumps. I've seen him on pictures and stuff in the gym and stuff like that. And at Sancho, don't know what's going on with Sancho at the moment. It's gone very quiet in regards to Sancho. Lots of people jumped ahead of themselves when they said he's going to Juve, he's going to Juventus, rah, all that rubbish. Absolutely been exposed there. But one thing I would say is this, right? We need to sell a couple of players, and then obviously we could probably squeeze in Baleba and get a goalkeeper as well, of course. But one thing I would stress, guys, one thing I would point out to you, lovely people, right? What I would say is this. Next season, I want us to remember this, right? I want us to remember this because we have a lot of money that we owe now. We still owe money from the Sancho transfer. We have a lot of money that we owe. If we get Baleba, we're going to obviously be paying a lot of installments every single month to get these deals over the line. So next season, we might still owe money on these transfers. So I just want us to bear that in mind because they are going to use that as an excuse, of course. Absolutely. Sanjay, very excited about this. Let's hope so. Big up, Sanj. That's Brighton's benchmark. I take it. That's their benchmark. That's their limit. That is their highest price. Of course, in business, you come out with the highest price. They're going to say, all right, 112 million pounds. This is what we want. What you saying? We say, no. We're not giving you 112 million pounds. We're giving you 70 million pounds. Brighton says, no, that's absolutely ridiculous. Let's say 90 million pounds. Man United go, let's say 75. And then we go 80, and it's going to be around that. And that is what's going to happen for me, in my opinion. I think that is what we're going to do a deal, and it's going to be about 75 to 85 million. That is what it's going to be. Probably a 75 million deal with 10 million in incentives. A deal like that. Probably about 10 million more than Sesko, of course. Moving on, Dabizas, I don't think we are. at the moment. We're not going to move on. You don't just get a price, Dabizas, and move on. What you do, you negotiate. You negotiate the price. They give you a price. All right, I'm going home now. No, you negotiate the price. You know what I mean? This is what you do. And you try and bring that price down. And I think Man United are capable of doing that. And I think the fact that they've agreed personal terms with Baleba, they've got this Baleba on side as well. It means that, they're serious about this deal. And I don't think they're just going to get the price from Brighton and walk away. They're going to absolutely fight for this deal, ain't they? 100 million fixed and maybe 10, 15 million on add-ons. Big up, Brian. Good luck. Sumo, good to see you, mate. Could be. Is Baleba or nothing failure is not an option. Big up, Jamie. 112 is not 130. It is 130 in euros, mate. It depends what you're looking at. It's 130, mate. 112 million pounds, mate. Just to let you know, it's 130 million euros. In Europe, they deal with euros, mate. But just because if we're going to talk English terms, we deal with, I said 112 million many times, pounds, English pounds on here, guys. And as I've said, that is the starting offer as well. It's not even the final offer. So it is 112 million pounds, 130 million euros. Just a little bit of an education for there, Rocky. Okay, because I've said that 3 or 4 times in the show already. Big up, Danny B. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, of course. Johnny, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Full of shit quote. 130 million is a bullshit source. Your info is better. Yeah, look, mate, it's not a shit source. It's not. It's 130 million euros, by the way, 112 million pounds, mate. If you like it or lump it, at the end of the day, my sources are my sources at the end of the day, guys. I've been in football 40 years, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, if you don't believe it, there's other channels you can go to and just talk about games and things like that, or maybe talk about your favorite series or something like that, mate. But we got a lot of things right on this channel. You know, maybe if you tune in a little bit more, you might see it. We got a lot of things right in this channel. And you know what? You know, we're not saying that 130 million is the main price and that's going to be the price. We're talking about the news, mate. We're talking about the news. Look on Twitter, look on social media. There's the news. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and maybe you should read it, because at the end of the day, it's 112 million pounds, which is the starting price for Baleba, mate. And that is what it is. Right at the end of the day, and this is the starting bid. Now, Man United need to come in and negotiate. They negotiate the price. They bring it down. Absolutely. Big up, Jamie. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Him and Mainu don't care. Big up, Jamie. I don't think he's going to play Mainu. That's the thing. Absolutely not. Absolutely. Ahmed. 130 million, I'd walk away and get Nguma. Look, what I would say, Ahmed, it's just a starting price. Again, it's just a starting price, mate. This could be obviously, you know what, put in as a first valuation from Brighton. Obviously, Brighton are going to try and get as much as they can. It is near to the end of the window, guys. As we know, it's the end of the window nearly. So obviously, Brighton are going to want to get as much money as they possibly can. You know, and this is what they're going to try and do. They're going to try and overvaluate, obviously, in Baleba. And you know what? It's up to Man United now, isn't it? If they want to do that, they're going to negotiate anyway. They're not going to just walk away from it, of course. At least I don't think they will. Of course. Let me have a look here. 1 second. Lots of comments, guys. Thank you, everyone who's joining me today. Of course, thank you, everyone who's joining me today, guys. Sorry, I've lost all the way up. Let me just drag this all the way up, guys. Will, Jamie, familiar. Man United, Greek fan. Hi, Sal. Big up, Jim. How you doing, mate? Long time no see. Hope you're well. Big up, Neil Gunner, 93. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Brighton do not budge on price. Oh, we'll have to wait and see, Neil Gunner. We'll have to wait and see. The fact that Baleba wants to leave, Neil, is a very big telling point here. It doesn't make business sense to keep Baleba. If they keep Baleba and he ends up having a poor season next season, as the guy said earlier, on the channel, if he gets injured, then what happens? They've basically flushed that money down the toilet. So let's wait and see what happens, of course. And Man United will negotiate the price, and let's see what happens. Guys, absolutely. RD7, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Realistically speaking, he's probably worth about 8 minutes. I agree with that, RDZ, 100%. Spot on. We've seen this with Caicedo. Yes, we have. But Caicedo didn't come out and say, I want to leave. Will, exactly, the old trick is working power indeed. Absolutely, mate. Big up, Will. Absolutely. That is what the trick is. It was a manipulation tactic. This is what billionaires do. And people didn't want to listen to me on this stream. I spoke about it lots of times about we got the money. Don't fall into that little old chestnut. We got the money. Man United is just manipulating you, and they're pretending they haven't got money, which is wrong because a lot of good people lost their jobs. You know. Spirit, Man United going to buy Baleba and Donnarumma. Let's hope so, Spirit. I don't know if you're an LFC fan, but you know what? That is a good comment because I hope that does happen, Spirit. I really do hope that does happen. Now, guys, away from the Baleba story, of course, news about Rasmus Hojlund going to AC Milan, as reported first on Stretford Post, of course. AC Milan have put in an offer of 4 million euros plus a 39 million euro obligation to buy. I think it's pounds or euro. It must be pounds. 39 million pounds to buy because it's so low for Mr. Rasmus Hojlund. Now, Rasmus Hojlund initially didn't want to leave Manchester United, but has come to the realization, having spoken to members of Manchester United about his future, that he may have to find moves elsewhere to get a chance to get into the Denmark team of the World Cup at the end of the season. Of course, it is the World Cup at the end of the season, guys. Let's not forget, already it's the World Cup at the end of the season. So Rasmus Hojlund is interested in going to AC Milan. He has agreed to go to AC Milan. Now it's up to AC Milan to negotiate a loan fee with Manchester United. Manchester United are digging their heels in at the moment. Manchester United want a loan fee of around 6 to 10 million euros with a 40 million euro obligation to buy. So that there, is what Man United are trying to do. And if Man United can get that over the line, obviously, as we know with Sancho, the obligation to buy it is not a guarantee, is it? We know what happens. We know what's happened with Sancho. We know what's happened in the past, of course, guys. So what I would say is that one's interesting. That one looks like it's got more wheels than the other deals at the moment. We're waiting on Chelsea. Manchester United have put a valuation on Garnacho in regards to a £50 million move to Chelsea. Chelsea want to pay less. Man United are digging their heels in again. And Man United want £50 million, 58 million euros for Garnacho. That's what they want. And at the end of the day, we're going to have to wait and see if Chelsea make their move. Garnacho, of course, wants to stay in the Premier League. He wants to stay in the Premier League. And I don't want him to stay in the Premier League, by the way. I don't. I would much rather him go into bloody Europe and go somewhere over there. Don't stay in the Premier League. But it is what it is. We need to make the money where we need to make the money. And, of course, Man United have got opportunities here, there to make some money. And this is obviously going to be reinvested in the Baleba deal, of course, initially. Casado was a record. Man United are cash rich. Absolutely. Man United are cash rich. Man United, this is why, Spirit or LSC fans, this is why Man United, we all wanted a full sale, Glazers out, and debt cleared, because Man United organically make money. They make money. And even at this period, when we're in a difficult position, we come 15th, we still got money. Now, imagine Man United had no debt. Imagine Man United didn't have the Glazers. Imagine where we'd be going with this. We'd absolutely be tearing it apart with FFP and PSR. Right now, it's difficult. Man United's PSR, FFP, is 250 million. Now, this is why Man United need to sell, unless they go over the threshold of the 250 million and risk getting the fine and points deduction. Man United have a 250 million. They spent around 200 million, roughly. Okay, I'm not counting Rashford. His wages are off the books as well. That could count. So it's about 180, 200 million Man United has spent. If they buy Baleba, that's obviously going to take it out over the 250 mark. So Man United are going to have to sell some players. Then Man United are going to have to try and squeeze the goalkeeper situation, of course, with the money that they got left. Baleba on nothing, says Kenny. I like Wharton, though. I would never sleep on Wharton. I think it's fantastic. 2 finals now. Brilliant. Don't pay the asking price and move on. Brighton don't want to sell. They don't need to. Nick, one thing I would say about Premier League clubs nowadays is that they don't need to sell. You're absolutely right. And this is why they will make it as difficult as possible for Man United to buy the player, because it's not like the 90s where, teams were desperate for money. Nowadays, it's like every single team has money. We don't need to sell him. He's our prize asset. Why are we going to sell him to you? And this is exactly why I said our scouting needs to be on point, because obviously Baleba was playing for Lille not too long ago, and we could have bought him there, and we weren't interested in Baleba at the time. We do have, obviously, Onana and Lenny Yoro, who I know Baleba quite well, so at Cameroon and Lille, of course. So he wants to come to Man United, and this price could be reduced significantly. It won't be 112 million, as I've said many times, but it will be hopefully reduced significantly, of course. Thank you so much, my friend, Niche fan. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you, of course. 130 million, not a chance. Big up, Mike. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, of course. Man United and Liverpool, we respect each other and no hate at each other. Look, Man United and Liverpool, we have a history of each other. We have a rivalry that stems from success. Man United and Liverpool's, obviously, it comes from the cotton and shipping field when we used to be, competitors in that over the years. I talk about decades and decades here. Man United and Liverpool still have an element of respect because of obviously we've been successful organically. We weren't given success like Man City and Chelsea and teams of that nature. We built success organically. That's the difference between Man United, and Liverpool, and obviously Chelsea and Man City, of course. So yeah, definitely. But obviously there's a rivalry there. We want to beat you. You want to beat us. And that's the way it is. And really good to have you here, Spirit LFC fans. It's good to have rival fans. It's good to have a difference of opinion as well. Seeing things from a non-biased point of view, of course. But it's good to have you here, mate, by all means. 130, let's do it. No messing. Big up Niche fan. I think we'll get that price down. Hey, Marky Mark, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you after and sat on the commentary community. How are you, my friend? Very well. Good to see you again, my friend. Good to see you again. Excited how United are moving. How do you feel about the transfer window so far? At the moment, I'm content, Marky Mark. I'm going to be honest with you. Until these other deals have gone through, I can't really be overly giddy. Because you never know in this transfer market, something will hit you around the face with a wet salmon and you won't get Baleba and we won't get a goalkeeper. And then we're left with 3 players that we signed, which obviously isn't sufficient. It isn't good enough, of course, is it? So I think we need to, if we get a Baleba through, that moves the price, that moves the ratings up to about 8.5 out of 10 for me. If we get a goalkeeper, that moves it up to a 9 out of 10. Obviously, we still need a squad. We still need a right wing back. We obviously were late with the transfers. We put the transfers too late. Obviously, we're not ready yet. In regards to Ruben Amorim, he hasn't had time to integrate his players into the team, into the training and stuff. And as been rumored, Man United are looking likely to arrange a friendly to incorporate Benjamin Sesko and Onana into the teams to get them some element of fitness before the Arsenal game. Of course, match fitness is incredibly important. It's so important. And, I cannot stress how important having a match fitness is against Arsenal. It's very important. And Man United arranging a friendly, I think that's a very good idea. Arrange a friendly behind closed doors, get him some element of fitness and see what happens. Big up, Marky Mark. Good to see you again, of course. Jamie, big up. Fans of I hope that Isaac picked up his off Newcastle. Big up, Jamie. Big up, Jamie, of course. You would get Carlos Baleba. Thank you, Spirit, man. Good to have a level-headed rival fan on here. Very good to have you here. I hope you're well, my friend. But Liverpool are in for him as well. Let's not forget that, of course. Liverpool, I expect Liverpool to come in with an offer. I really do. Again, Spirit, hi everyone. How are you? Also, how's your fam? Very good, mate. How's your family? I'm very well, and they're very well. Thank you so much for asking, my friend. Bless and greetings. Smash the like button, subscribe. Thank you so much, mate. Very good to see you. Kenny will pay the installments. We're the bank of the Premier League, guys. Absolutely. Oh, goodness me. That is going to take time as well, isn't it? I think Sesko might cook Arsenal this weekend. He looks up for it. A man's ready training. Come on, Jamie. Come on. That's what we want to hear. Grayo, you legend. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. 26 likes. So come on, guys. Smash the like buttons and subscribe buttons and show your appreciation out on the brilliant channel. Thank you so much, Grayo. You absolute legend. Look, guys, please don't forget, we've got 155 in right now. We should have 155 likes, right? In theory, shouldn't we have that, guys? Come on, guys. Smash a like. Show your support to the channel. Thank you so much, Grayo. Of course. Step, what's going on, my friend? Are we doing well? We won't get Baleba for 80 million. That's us robbing Brighton. Bloom is a hard. I mean, what can we do? Yeah, I know he is. But the thing is here, Man United won't get him for 112 million, and that is what it is. My thing is Man United will get him for about 75 to 85 million. I think that is what Man United will go for. And I think Man United will get him for that price because obviously he has already sacrificed himself in regards to wanting to go to Manchester United, wanting to sign for Man United. That is, you know what, a weapon in our corner, isn't it, at the end of the day? Let's wait and see. Yogi, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Brighton is not interested in selling Baleba. That's crystal clear. So they put a price blindly. They will win either way, as Baleba will stay or the other 50 million. Yogi, no. That's not how it works. When the player wants to leave, notoriously the player gets his wish. Look at Mbeumo. Brentford didn't want to sell Mbeumo. And when a player wants to leave, generally they get their wish. Now, it is up to, obviously, Brighton whether they want to do a deal now and get the money or wait until next year and risk not getting him for half that price. If he has a bad season, he gets an injury, you never know what can happen. So they could basically be flashing money down the toilet. When a player agrees, look, listen, I've been here before many times on this channel with Mbumo, with Sesko. We're not going to get him. We're not going to get Sesko. We're not going to get Mbumo. We're not going to get Cunha. I've been here for many, many years. You know, in regards to before I had this channel, I've been here for many, many years, and people told me about the birds and the bees about football, and I didn't have an egg in their face. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Man United will come in with their first offer, and obviously, if Baleba wants to leave, he's going to leave. Brighton are a selling club. Brighton are a selling club. They sell for a lot more money than they buy him for, but they are a selling club. That's what they do. They don't win anything. They're not interested in that. They're interested in what, obviously, making money. Read the room. So they were allowing us to negotiate then. Absolutely. They would have just said not a Sal. Yeah, exactly, Jamie. They would have just said not for Sal at any price. Goodbye. Absolutely. William, silly money. Big up, William, by the way. It is silly money. Sababu, Tata, do we get him this week? At the moment, it doesn't look like that, Sababu. We could get some news regards to Baleba by the end of the week. By the end of the week, we might have some sort of progress in regards to the deal. But now that Brighton have slapped this big price tag on obviously Baleba, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, isn't it? And Man United are going to have to go in high in regards to the first bid for Baleba. And we're gonna have to wait and see. We're gonna have to wait and see. But hopefully we get this deal done quickly because the time is running out, guys. 1st of September. 1st of September, guys. It's the end of the window. I haven't stopped. 1st of September is the end of the window, guys. And then after that, it's January, isn't it? And we're not going to sign anyone in January. So it's either now we sign Baleba or we go to the summer. Now, Ben Jacobs spoke a few weeks ago about Baleba, about Man United want Baleba, but might not do a move for Baleba because of the price tag is astronomical. And that is what it is, you know. And but things have changed. As we know, in football, things change day by day. Things can change day by day in football. We all know what happens in football, don't we? Blah, 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 blah. Man United has to buy it, beat Brighton. Big up, Rogie. Big up, my friend. People acting like we are the only club who are doing this, and that's what makes me laugh. Exactly, Jamie. No one was batted an eyelid when Liverpool went after Florian Wirtz for ridiculous amounts of money. And Florian Wirtz is not even Premier League proven. You know, it happens in football. You have to spend money at the end of the day, and prices have raised. Prices are much more extortionate now, and we have to face the music. And we can face the music and dance. I have no music at all and not dance next season. Absolutely. George, what's going on, my friend? I'll be doing well. Clearly, you don't know Tony Bloom selling for under 100 million. Let me say something, George. I do actually know him, by the way. But anyway, that's a different story. Guys, let me tell you something about football. You start off with that bid. Man United are not going to pay 100+ million. They might pay 100+ million in incentives, though. That is the difference, right? There's a difference between paying 100 million up front and paying 100 million with incentives, right? I make a prediction. I think Man United would do a deal for about 85 million. That's what I think is going to happen. I think that's going to happen maybe with incentives. Yeah, so it might go over 100. You never know. But we'll have to wait and see. We have to play this by ear. No one here knows Tony Bloom like me. Right? So at the end of the day, guys, look, you know what I would say about life in general. Don't stab in the dark because you never know who you're talking to. Absolutely. Done and dusted. This is a big boy dealings. It is what it is. Big up, done and dusted. Good to see you, mate. Rivals have found their way. Shocker. I mean, I know, mate. I know it's a hateful way, isn't it? Goalie plays or Heaton in. I don't disagree with that, mate. We do need a different goalkeeper to Onana. I think we do need to move on from Onana. I really do believe that. I don't think Onana's the goalkeeper to go forward. Although if Man United do sign Baleba, it's going to be incredibly tight to try and bring in a goalkeeper. But hopefully, fingers crossed, of course. News is reaching me every single day. People are using euros. It's pounds. Yeah, 112 million pounds, 130 million euros. Mark him up. Sal, always on point. Trust the process and relax. Thank you so much, Marky Mark. That's exactly what we've been stressing for a very long time now, isn't it? Trust the process. We're going to be all right. And we just have to be patient with this. I'm already excited for the new season. I don't know about you. I can't wait till the Premier League starts. Can I be honest with you guys as well? Can I be honest? I'll be really frank with you. I can't wait till the transfer window is closed. I can't wait till the transfer window is closed and we can get to the nitty-gritty of football. Do you know what I mean? I can't wait for that. And if we got the players through the door, fantastic. I can't wait, you know. And Baleba, a goalkeeper, would be perfect for Man United right now. It's what we need at the end of the day. Big up Jamie. Big up everyone, of course, who's joined me today so far. William, when does the window close? 1st of September, William. Brian, Sal, your information on players has been spot on. When you others said we won't get Sesko, you said we would never change our stance, mate. Great channel. Thank you so much, Brian. I mean, and Mbumo, by the way. I had people on this channel saying we're never going to Mbumo. Watch this space. We're not going to get Mbumo. I had people on this channel saying we're going to get your carers. Watch this space. We're going to get your carers. And I say we're not going to get your carers. He's going to Arsenal. And I spoke to the Portuguese journalist as well. He confirmed it for me, what I said. But guys, I just keep my feet on the ground. I'm just a kid from Leytonstone. You know what I mean? Who loves Man United, and I have a few contacts, and that's about it, you know. And I just like to spit the truth. I don't like to write the gospel. I don't like to pretend. I don't like, because there are people out there who pretend, guys, you know, and you have to be very, very wary of those guys. Absolutely, you know, pretend they got connects at the club when they haven't. One of them sits in Thailand with a Man United cap, you know what I mean, and pretends he's in the know and everything like that. He's an absolute liar, guys. But that is what it is, and you have to obviously. Be careful with who you trust in this game, because there are a lot of frauds out there. I understand that. There's a little bit of PTSD with people in regards to the transfer window and stuff like that. But yeah, every player I've mentioned, Man United are aware of, every Man United are known, are interested in. Whether we get them or not is a completely different story. That depends on the deal with the club. That depends on negotiations and things like that, of course. Big up, Brian, though. It's always good to have you here every single day, my friend. Big up. Brandy, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. To make money, you have to spend money. Absolutely, Randy, it's a very important point. To make money, you have to spend money. Look, all these teams in the Premier League right now are vying for that Champions League spot. Of course, you get 100 million for qualifying for the Champions League now. 100 million. So being out of the Champions League is incredibly financially damning. Man United have to get back in that Champions League. And by doing that, you have to invest. You have to invest. With every business, we have to invest. On this channel, you have to invest. Everything you have to invest. If you want to be serious about what you do, if you want to progress, you have to invest. And this is what life is about in general. You know, you want to look good, you have to invest. You know, no matter what it is. And Man United have to buy this player. I just think that they have to buy this player. Baleba has to come to Man United. He has to be playing for Man United next season. Baleba does, I would say. And I actually think that he will eventually. Absolutely. Big up Neil Gunner. Fantastic saying. Good to see you here, Neil Gunner. Good to see you, mate. Always very level-headed and that. And looking forward to the game on Sunday, mate. Absolutely. Hojlund, big up. Smash the like buttons. Thank you so much, you legend. You absolute diamond. Thank you, mate. Artie's there. Take the money and run. There you go, mate. Absolutely. There we go. Coco, what's going on, my friend? I'll be doing well. Hojlund should wisen up and understand that it might be best for him. Coco, you're absolutely spot on. The World Cup is at the end of the season, and any player out there now doesn't want to miss games. They want to play most games because they're going to end up missing out in the World Cup. Namely, Rasmus Hojlund. He will end up missing out in the World Cup. And so is Onana. Onana wants to play for Cameroon. He may miss out on the World Cup if he doesn't get first-team football, of course. So I think it's very, very imperative in regards to Rasmus Hojlund's own interest that he goes to AC Milan, bangs in the goals, cooks over there. He may come back to Man United. You never know. And then, you know what? He's in the squad for the World Cup. Joe, Baleba, yes, overpriced, and he is 20 right now, but a massive upgrade from Casemiro, and one of the best cinemas in the Premier League right now is Baleba. I agree with that, Joe, absolutely. This is why I'm saying, do the deal. Just do the deal. Whatever it takes, do the deal. That's what I'm saying now. I'm saying now, look, guys, you guys are twisting me now. Look, I think Man United will do the deal. I'm hearing a lot of positive noises around Baleba. I think they will end up doing the deal. I think the Baleba deal will go ahead. I think we will sign him, to be honest with you. For whatever price people say. Some people can say 100, some people say 85, some people say 70, some people say 90. It is what it is. We're going to have to wait and see. When Man United go in with their first bid, let's see what happens, of course. Their first bid is very, very a big clue as well. Ephraim, Sal, if we get Baleba and Donnarumma, where do you think we finish? Now, guys, I'm going to give you some predictions for next season, guys. And this is based on if Man United sign a goalkeeper and Man United sign Baleba, guys. This is what I'm predicting for the coming season, guys. So keep your hats on. Keep your hats on, guys. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. This is the league. What I'm predicting, the league, the top of the league, the top 5 and the bottom 3. The top 5 and the bottom 3. Right. Okay, guys, you ready for this? Absolutely. Let's go. This is my top 5 teams next season. Manchester United will win the league title. Title charge. Man United will win the league next season based on if we sign Baleba and Donnarumma. It'll be Man United, 2nd Liverpool, 3rd Man City, 4th Chelsea, 5th Arsenal. Getting relegated will be Brentford, Leeds and Burnley. Sunderland will escape because Sunderland have had an astronomical pre-season so far. And you know what? The biggest shock of all will be Manchester United as the champions, guys. That is what we're looking at right now. Manchester United champions. Burnley, Leeds, and Brentford going down. Now, guys, I'm going to do this as I go along, guys. So bear with me. Like, I'm gonna talk about players that are gonna what's gonna happen next season. Now, what's gonna happen next season? I said it there. That's my prediction, guys. Don't lose it, guys. I'm not gonna lose it. Don't lose that. These are my predictions. Remember this: the player of the season next season will be. Hold your hats. The player of the season next season will be Benjamin Sesko. Benjamin Sesko will be the player of the season. The surprise player of the season next season will be the surprise player next season will be, in my opinion, Granit Xhaka of Sunderland. He will have a fantastic season. Granit Xhaka. Right. The Champions League winners for me next season will be the Champions League winners will be. It's a tough one. The Champions League winners will be, and it's going to hurt me, guys. It's going to hurt me a lot to say this. Liverpool will win the Champions League next season again. Europa League, I believe that Chelsea in the Champions League, sorry. I believe that, how am I going to say this? I'm going to have to come back to you on that one, but I would say Crystal Palace will win the Conference League. They're going to shock everyone. They will win the Conference League. And yeah, and I'm going to have to play the rest by ear. But that is my prediction for the league. You're going to laugh at me. I know you are. Guys, absolutely. You guys. Big up, Graham. Thank you for becoming a member. I thought you were already a member, mate. What's going on? I thought you were already a member. What's going on, bruv? What's going on? Thank you again, my friend. Good to see you again. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate you, brother. Why are you putting banners up world record transfer when you know blah 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 blah? I'm a tuber. I'm a tuber. Im's a tuber. Are you a tuber? You're not really a tuber. You two don't even know you are, mate. But one thing I would say to you, mate, that is the noise around the football club. 112 million is a world record for an African player, mate. I don't know if you know about the birds and the bees, but that is what it is, mate. 112 million is a world record for an African player, mate. What's the clown on about? We hate each other and we always have. No, he's not a clown, Dembo. No, it's not hate, mate. It's not hate. Dembo, let me tell you something about Man United. I've been in Man United sport for 40 years. It's definitely not hate, mate. It's a rivalry. Hate is different. So just like when Diego Jota passed away, we show a lot of love to Liverpool and stuff like that. Just like the Hillsborough disaster, we show a lot of love and things like that, of course, you know. Grayo, Sal, just renewed my users, and please, everyone, can you specialize and subscribe? Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you very much, Grayo. Legend, mate. You are an absolute diamond. Retro, any sentence that ends with a question mark ain't really news, though, is it? Do we believe Rasmus Hojlund is thinking? I don't know what you're on about, Retro. I don't know what that is at the end of the day. You don't know what Rasmus Hojlund is thinking, but we do know what AC Milan and Man United are thinking. But I'm hearing that Rasmus is interested, and that's what he's thinking. So will he go? Will he go? He's agreed to Milan. Yeah, so there we go. We'll just see. Which midfielder you like to see if we like? People try to be smart, but you know what? You can't be smart on this channel, Retro. Absolutely not. Been around the block, mate. Mark, Gemini. Sell Mlase for 3 million and Sancho for 25 million. Garnacho 50 million, Nancy 25 million. There's the money. Absolutely. If birds and the bees, absolute birds and the bees, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's all about the birds and the bees. Amir, big up Amir. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Sal, do you do watch along for the Super Cup? Yes, I am. I'm doing a watch along for the Super Cup tomorrow, my friend. Tomorrow, I'm doing a watch along for the Super Cup. Absolutely. Big up Miles. What's going on, my friend? If we cannot get this deal with, there could be a cheaper options. Look for this channel every day. Peace out, brother. Big up Miles again. Thank you so much, you legend. Good to see you. Of course, we're going to cook this season. Absolutely, Randy. Lots of people being pessimistic and trying to be clever at the end of the day. Cornish. We are going to be scary team season 130 million. That's euros, right? Isn't it? Euros. Yes, Cornish. Big up, Cornish. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you back. Yeah, it's euros, mate. Euros. It'll be 112 million in pounds. 112 million in pounds. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Grayo. He put down the phone. Grayo, try to call you, mate. I answered the phone. Look, there's the evidence, of course. I agree with that, Retro. Yes, absolutely. So I have a feeling we will win against Arsenal. I have a feeling as well. I don't think that Arsenal is. I think Arsenal are beatable. They're very beatable. I really do. I think they're beatable. Myself. I think Man United are in a good way. If we get some positive news this week, I think we'll be all right. Retro. That would be a brilliant idea. It would be if we do it. Mainu and Baleba in the centre will be dynamic duo. Absolutely would be. I don't think he's going to play Mainu, though, is it? Let me answer this phone call. Grayo, I'm online, brother. There you go, brother. You can give me the props at the end of the season. Oh, no problem, brother. Anytime, man. Thank you for your support anyway. Thanks, mate. Cheers, pal. Cheers, bro. That was great. You see, I'm close to my subscribers. You see, I'm not like other people. We're friends. UK Darren. Brighton are a joke. They pay a Baleba 12,500 a wage and they want a record bid. I know, mate. Ridiculous, isn't it, at the end of the day? Absolutely. Let's go. Big up, Kenny fan. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're blessed. Of course. Big up, done and dusted. Tybog. This is why I love you, mate. Your optimism is unmatched. Come on, Tybor. We have to do it, guys. We have to have that. Look, listen, it's a new season. It's a new day. It's a new life for me, baby. And I'm feeling good. I am feeling good. You have to feel good at the end of the day. Smile while you still have teeth. That's it. Lord Rodney, good morning. How you doing? 130 is a bargain. It's equivalent to 30 million 15 years ago. Actually, Lord Rodney has a very good point here. It is a very good point because it is equivalent to about 30 million a few years ago. Well, not a few years ago, about 20 years ago, I would have thought. Prices have really increased dramatically, haven't they, at the end of the day? They have increased dramatically. Did Brighton, no, that's in euros, Daz Sweets. Big up, Daz Sweets 007. Hope you're doing well. Yes, that is in euros, mate. That's in euros. I do with pounds and euros, dirhams and dollars. Whatever you want me, I will tell you. 112 million in pounds, absolutely. But as the media like to extortionate, over-exaggerate Man United's price, we're bringing it, we're giving it the lowdown on what the birds and the bees are saying, of course. V, what's going on, my friend? Are we doing well? If Baleba still goes through, even if Amram fails, I am confident that the next manager comes in, he'll be a really good base of player to work with, and just a few positions to be back. You know what I would say there, V? Amram is not going to fail. Amram is not going to fail. Absolutely not. Palace for the Conference League, not a shock. Well, they've never been in Europe for a very long time, so it is really in European context. Stop trying to be smart, Retro. They've never been in Europe. You think that a team that's never been in Europe is going to win a European competition just like that? Just like that. And don't say West Ham because they won European competitions. Now, look, I said they're going to win the European. It is a shock. If they win a Conference League, it is a shock. There's big teams in that Conference League. Go and have a look. There's teams that have won things. Show me the money, Ryan Gloria. Big up Ryan Gloria, Brighton and Hove Albion. There we are. The Seagulls are in the house. Listen, I go way back with Brighton. I'll go way back with Brighton. I've been to Brighton games back. You know what? When I was a little kid, I used to go to Brighton on the beach. You know, you used to go to Brighton on the coast and have a rock. And then you know what? Brighton and Hove Albion. Yeah. My friend used to play for them. Yeah, a long time ago. Won't tell you who it is. Show me the money. We're not going to show you that much. Jamie, that's sweets, that's euros, bro. Do everyone gets confused? I don't know, mate. I think they just wanna be mad. You can't keep getting a bargain basement prices. A Boomer 50 million and Cunha for 50 million, 30 million for Baleba. It's a fair play. Big up, Rodney. Rodney, come on, bruv. You've got to factor in the inflation. Mate, come on, Lord Rodney. What are you trying to say here, mate? What are you trying to say? Should I start bringing in algebra into the stream and stuff like that? Absolutely. Samuel, sorry. Sal, if we are the champions, it will break the internet. Absolutely, it will. And you heard it here first. Even in all, I am late again. Big up, Tim. Better late than never, my friend. It's good to see you. Absolutely great to see you. Absolutely. It's hate with a glimmer in the eye. Big up, Retro. Big up, Retro. Retro was on one. Baleba in bomb squad. Big up, Randy, of course. Silverback Beast. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good evening, lads and ladies. Big up, Silverback Beast. Good to see you, of course, guys. Absolutely great to have everyone in the chat. Of course, guys, we never know what's going to happen in the future. Football is a funny old game. We heard it here before, haven't we? Football is a funny old game. Anything can happen in football. Anything. You never know. It just depends, obviously, week by week, day by day. But one thing's for certain. Positive noises are coming out of Man United, and that is what we want at the end of the day. It's better than having noise than having no noise at all. You know? So whether Man United do the deal, or maybe Man United don't do the deal, look, at the end of the day, Man United are making the right noises, they're making the right approaches, they're making the right moves. So that means that Man United are making moves. That means there is a chance that this deal could go ahead. No matter what the price is, none of us are Mystic Meg. We don't know the price down to the last penny. We don't know what's going to be. It could be incentives. It could be a payment plan. Man United might have a secret stash stacked up somewhere. But as I mentioned on this channel, we speak the gospel on this channel, guys. That's what we do, right? We don't mess about. And we relatively, we get it right. Not all the time, but relatively, we get it right, guys. And overall, it's been pretty successful this summer, of course. Absolutely. Now, Silverback. Big up, Silverback. You think Ruben is feeling the pressure if we get Baleba and a new keeper almost? I don't think so much pressure, Silverback, Gamer Beast. What I would say is that I think he's a different type of manager. I don't think he feels the pressure. I really don't. I think he's a very calm individual. Although I think that Ineos and the board will be feeling the pressure. I think they'll be feeling the pressure. I think they'll be a little bit nervous in regards to how much we spent. But Man United have been crying out for many, many years now to spend 500 million. You know, and I've been saying it for a long time. 500 million plus. I've been saying it for a long time. Big up, Jengus. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Nobody thought we'd land Euro last summer. Baleba's loading. Absolutely, Jengus. There you go. There's a lot of haters, mate. There's a lot of haters. Cheers, everyone. See you tomorrow. Hit the likes. Thank you so much. Big up Randy, and big up Ephraim, of course. Yeah, guys, look. Rasmus Hojlund to AC Milan. I have it on very good authority that he has agreed to go to AC Milan. Now, when someone agrees, and I have it on very good authority, I don't take everyone's word as 100%. This is why you write a question mark, just to let you know, guys. But he's never wrong, right? And what I would say is this. Rasmus goes to AC Milan. We get rid of Garnacho and Anthony and Sancho. Man United have the money to pay for Baleba. We might even get rid of Malacia. And we might, you know, you never know. We might get rid of them as well. And we'd be able to buy a goalkeeper too. Let's wait and see, guys. Anything could happen in the world of football, of course. But, guys, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. Really appreciate it. It's been a great show, of course. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash a like on the video if you guys can do that for me. And please don't forget to put your notifications on as well in case anything breaks. You never know with Man United these days, of course, guys. Absolutely. Guys, Grayo has... I forgive Grayo for saying this, but Grayo, if Grayo has put a £10 bet on Man United winning the league, guys, I said it here, Man United are going to win the league. Title charge. But if we get Baleba and a goalkeeper, that is the deal with me. Absolutely. Big up LT, how you doing, my friend? Big up Sal. We are going to get Baleba. We're going to get ripped off Garnacho and Hojlund. Absolutely. Big up, my friend. Big up Born Vex, the legend. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Tap a like and subscribe and share, likes, appreciation. Thank you so much, Born Vex. Good to see you, my friend, of course. And big up everyone in the stream, you guys. Only 54 likes. Let's get the likes up, guys. Very important we get the likes up. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. I'm Sal Warner. This is Chatterbox, and I'll see you tomorrow for Breaking Dawn. If nothing else breaks, of course. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your night, morning, wherever you are in the world. Take it easy. Peace.